I shedding 6 times.
What is going on, horror gang? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Shot 'em 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as well as hit that notification icon to see all the latest content updates to the channel. Just waking up, still trying to get my footing here, guys, so bear with me. But if you read the description of this stream, I will not be on long. I'm just going to go for probably about a half hour to 45 minutes, something like that. However, I have one of my best friends coming over to hang out a little bit before I head to work or whatnot. But I wanted to get this stream out there, this video, whatever you want to call it, out there and talk a little bit about this Jamie Kennedy interview interview with that video that he posted yesterday on his YouTube channel. If you haven't watched that video already, I put the link in the chat box. So if you want to take a look at it, go for it. It's like 22 minutes long. Love Jamie Kennedy's videos. I always take his word at face value because I genuinely believe what he's telling you is the truth. In all honesty, I don't believe the shit that he says is false or anything like that. I believe he keeps it 100% real and then some. So obviously he was talking about the big news, Neve Campbell not returning for Scream 6. And from what I took in this interview, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that he mentioned. And what really caught my ear, I should say, is when he had mentioned about it's not Radio Silence's fault. It's not even Spyglass's fault that apparently Spyglass and Paramount are just basically the distributors. A third party actually owns the intellectual properties to the new Scream franchise now. And stuff. According to Jamie. And like I said, I'd like to take what he says at face value because he's been on the inside, especially he's been in this franchise. People tell him things, even though he's not going to go full disclosure, he'll give little Easter eggs, etc. Now, I found that very interesting that he said that because, it just comes to show just how deep and corroded the system is in Hollywood. And he brought that up. You know what I mean? And it's a damn shame because, according to Jamie as well, and he, like he said, people tell him things. You know what I mean? She was supposed to have a good chunk in this movie. Now, we can go back and forth whether that was a good idea or not, what have you. But I don't want to break down that part. I want to break down the part of, okay, let's say she was supposed to be in this movie and have a pretty substantial role, as Jamie basically said in the interview or whatever. The rumor is going on out there that she was offered $2 million for 4 days worth of filming. Now, to people like us, that seems like that's a lot of money. It is. But I want people to look at the bigger picture here. Okay. So let's say if she was supposed to have a significant role in this movie, but the filming was only 4 days, but within those 4 days, you shot a lot of, you shot a lot of scenes or a lot of product. You did put in a lot of good time. So they pay her 2 days, $2 million or whatever for that, right? Here's the thing, guys. And I'd like to believe Neve is residing in California. Don't quote me on that. I tried to do my due diligence and see, where she actually was living, where her residence is. And from what I last saw, she purchased a home in 2020 in LA. So I want to assume, we're just going to go with the assumption that she's living in LA. So what I did was I went online and I looked up California's state tax rate, what have you. California charges a state tax rate of 7.03%, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that extra decimal is right. It's either 7.03 or 7.07. Either way, it's a 7%. It's a 7% tax rate in California. Here in Pennsylvania, we have a 3% tax rate. Why that is significant is obviously the state of California takes more taxes from you. Also, as we know, when you get a lot, the more you make, the more they take. The more you make, the more they take. So if you have a whole lump sum of money, okay. So let's say if Nev lived in Pennsylvania, just like I do, right? And she won $100,000 on a scratch off ticket, right? They're taking 26% of that, which leaves you with 74% out of that 100,000. Imagine what California is taking out. If California's tax rate is a 4% increase, so let's just do it by that 4%. So if Pennsylvania's lump sum tax rate percentage is 26% of the tax being taken out of that lump sum, you would have to assume that California's might be 30%. So add this up, guys. 10% to her agent, 10%, 10% to her agent. I want to say 10. I forget. I'm a Bearded mentioned this yesterday. 10% to something else or whatever. It's like another thing, like sponsors or whatever you want to call it, maybe publicists, what have you, and stuff. And then add that 30%. That's 50% of her pay gone already out of that 2 million. One could say, oh, well, she still walks away with a cool 1 million. Not necessarily, because I mean, you have to also, especially if the studio, let's say the studio, we don't know for sure if the studios pay for, if it's in the contract to pay for hotel stays, flights, etc. Plus, you know what I mean? She does have a family. You know what I mean? One could sit there and say, oh, $1 million, you know what I mean, is a lot of money for her to come back. Not to us, that is. But look at this as well. And I found this interview. Well, I found this article back a few years ago when her and Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess, did an interview together, and they were talking about salaries and stuff like that. And Jamie Lee Curtis had even went to say, I want to say in the original Halloween, that it was a no profit participation, quote unquote, and that there was no money on the back end. For Scream 3, Nev said she did okay, but there was no money on the back end. So, guys, what seems like a lot of money to us, when you add the taxes, when you add what they have to pay out for publicists, agents, what flights, what have you, a lot of that money is half gone. So my thing is this. For somebody, I looked up her net worth as well. Neve Campbell's net worth is $10 million. The Scream franchise alone has grossed almost $1 billion fucking dollars. Almost $1 billion. This last movie just did 140 million, which is fantastic when you consider we were still somewhat in a pandemic. So who's to say if we didn't have this whole pandemic issue, if shit never got shut down, how much more money that movie could have made? So for me, guys, and now from at least according to Jamie, you know what I mean, we can't even really blame Spyglass and on Paramount. Apparently, there's a third party involved, and according to Jamie, these fucking guys weren't even involved for 5. See, this is the faux cause about Hollywood, especially when it comes to business and making money. When you start making money on a project or whatever, if it does well, there's always motherfuckers that's going to want to jump on the train and tell you what to fucking do. It is. Now, Jamie also made an interesting point is this, guys, you know what I mean? It's just like this. When you sign on for a project, just like he did Tremors or whatever, right? 12 years after the movie was released or whatever, they redid Tremors or whatever and stuff, or did a sequel, whatever. I never really watched that movie, got into that, stuff like that. So, but just going by what Jamie was saying, you take less in the first project in hopes that if there is going to be a second project, because the first project was successful, you take less so that when you come back for the second one, you get more money. That's how it's supposed to work. It's just like if we go to work and we are performing above our pay, we are performing above what we are getting paid. Well, what do you want? What are you going to end up doing? You're going to go to your boss and say, hey, boss, can we sit down and have a chat? Listen, I feel like I've overperformed what I initially was set out to do here. I was hired for this, but I exceeded those expectations, and I feel like my worth is so much more than what you're paying me or what you're offering to pay me if you're giving me an offer. And it's only fair. It's only fair. Think about this, guys. You know what I mean? She's done 6 movies. Let me I'm gonna look this up real quick because I'm not even gonna look it up. You know what I mean? I can only imagine what Tom Cruise has made off the Mission Impossible movies as compared to what Neve has made off the Scream movies. I can only imagine. And people can sit there and say, oh, it's not a valid argument. Tom Cruise is a way bigger star. I understand that. But we're talking about carrying franchises here. How many females you know has carried a franchise the way Jamie Lee Curtis has carried Halloween and the way Neve Campbell's carried Scream? We don't have that many female lead in expanding a franchise. We don't have that. We don't have a lot of that. When you take that away out of this movie, you're leaving the pool. You're kind of leaving the pool dry. We know Jamie Lee's about to be done with Halloween. Neve is the last of the true the true final girl. You know what I mean? Like, she is the last. Now, I've said it before. Do we really need her in Scream 6? Not necessarily. But my whole issue is this. Don't fuck with the woman's money. Don't fuck with her money. Give her what she's worth. Y'all motherfuckers just made 140 million. 140 million. You can't give this woman what she's worth because the truth of the matter is, what was everybody talking about when Scream 5 coming back out? Is Neve going to be in it? Is Neve going to be in it? Is Neve going to be in it? Who puts asses in the seats? I get it. We have to get different. We have to let Radio Silence create their own movie. But now, and develop their characters. But from what it seems to me and from what Jamie is saying, they wanted Neve in this movie. They had a significant role for her in this movie, which tells me possibly, this isn't, doesn't mean it's true. They could still fuck up and not really develop their characters that well. But that tells me to a degree that Radio Silence has a story built for Cindy to where they can still develop their characters around her. And if that can be done, why not? Listen, we was talking about it the other night, me, Bob, and Jordan and stuff, and about people you're going to basically have to decide to whether you're a Scream fan or a Neve Campbell fan. Well, now, especially after listening to Jamie, he made a valid point. She is the franchise. She is Scream. She really is. She's the star. No matter how much her role reduces, fans want to see Neve Campbell return as Cindy Prescott in some capacity. And if they had built in a way for them to make that happen while also developing their new characters, Radio Silence's characters, while also being able to get different, why would you fuck that up? It's very, very frustrating, It's very, very frustrating. And the reason why I wanted to come on here and talk about especially the financials and stuff is because when you do break down taxes, when you do break down payouts, and like I said, guys, we don't know in the contracts, especially if they pay for hotel stays, if they pay for flights, what is all you? We don't know all that. I mean, but let's say for the sake of argument, they don't pay for that, right? When else Neve's got to also shell out for hotel stay, flights, and she's not staying cheap. You know what I mean? And she's not hurting. She has other projects. She has, her real estate. I get all that. But it's not about that. It's about respect. It's about respect. When you've given yourself to a franchise or to anything, guys, that's like us going to work for a company, right? For 30 years, I'm gonna quote the great Hall of Famer, wrestling Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes. You work a job 30 years, daddy. 30 years. They give you a watch, they kick you in the butt, and tell you a computer took your place, daddy. That's hard times. That's hard times. Key point. You work your ass off for a company, a franchise, what have you, for so long. You devote yourself. And they still try to find ways to fuck you and replace you, as even if you want to still do it. Is that right? It's like Sylvester Stallone said in Rocky Balboa. People come down here, they pay the freight on what, and they pay, and you take that away from them and you tell them no, you think that's right? I understand you're trying to do your job, but why you got to stop me from doing mine? Because if you got to go through all the battle you got to get to where you got to get, who's got the right to stop you? She obviously still wanted to be in this movie. And I said it before, guys, and Jamie even clarified it for me, and I even left him a comment on the video. I said, it's not so much that we already didn't expect her in Screen 6. I already didn't expect her in Screen 6. My main concern was, how did you approach this situation with the offer? Did you give her really your best offer, or did you just put a fucking offer on the table knowing she wasn't going to take it and just said, whatever, you take it, leave it or take it, we really don't care? You cannot treat people that way. You cannot treat legacy characters that way, who have built the fucking franchise, who have helped build the fucking franchise to what it is from the ground up. You have to do business in a better way. You do. You have to show that level of respect. It's a respecting. It's not about money. It's not just about money. It's not just about, pride. It's about respect. Give me what the fuck I earned. And then you got to think, guys, if she's saying in previous movies that there was no back end money, well, think about it. They were kind of jerking her before. So why would she not? If she knows she was jerked before and she still took it and she still came back for the fans, for Wes, why now would she not try to get the bag? Why now would she not try to get what she is worth? Especially when, and like Jamie said, the franchise is even more popular now, more than ever. You see how many fucking merchandise is out for this shit? Do you see how many cons they're getting asked to do? And this is another thing I want people to keep in mind. Matthew Lillard says it all the time. Guys, you guys with these cons, us, the fans who attend these cons, that pay our hard-earned money to fucking see the people we love, the people that have made an impact in our life as fans of these franchises. You guys do not understand how much you mean to us, because you guys may think, because we've played in, we've been in Hollywood and we played in high profile movies. You guys think that we live in these bally-ho mansions and this and this and that. And don't get me wrong, we live well. But keep in mind that it's not all sunshines and rainbows. We could sit there and make a movie like Scream and make a shitload of money. But as an actor, I won't be called for a part for over a year. So these cons, you guys showing up to these cons and parting ways with your hard-earned money to support us, is putting food on our family's table. That is important, especially in this situation. That is very, very important. That these actors who play in these movies that you see have grossed almost $1 billion fucking like Scream, still gotta fucking struggle. Is that right? No, it's not right. No, I don't think guys, I don't honestly think a lot of us understand how fucking hard their job is. I say it like this. I mean, their job is as mental as it is physical. Because you got to understand, some parts they got to lose weight, some parts they got to gain weight. Then you got to think the memory, having to recite lines, having to be on point, knowing how to cut angles, how to be convincing. This shit is not easy. So when I see a guy in Jamie Kennedy who comes out and is giving little phone calls and he's telling you Hollywood is full of fucking shit. They lie to you. They lie to you. They lie to us. I believe him when he says that. I believe that. Because in my opinion, guys, I'm sorry. This is just my opinion. Ain't no way a franchise that you have worked for, that you have worked 5 movies for, that has grossed almost $1 billion fucking dollars, but your net worth ain't even at least over 20 to 25 million? Think about that, guys. Oh, I would have to do the math, but I just don't feel like going through all that fucking shit right now, looking it up. You know what I mean? And all that. But 10 million is what her net worth is. And that's just overall net worth. That's not even from the Scream franchise. That's not even from the Scream franchise. So I'm going to at least say I want to say if her net worth is 10 million or whatever, right? Let's just go on a limb and say a good part of that 6 mil, 7 mil is from Scream, right? Guys, they grossed over $700 million. That's not even 20%. That's not that great. It's not, especially when you think about what she got to shell out in in taxes, in paying people. It's crazy. It's fucked up. Because now my whole thing is this. I get it, guys. I know a lot of us said we don't need Sid in this movie. They need to develop their characters. Cool. I get all that. But my thing is this. If, as creators, they found a way to fit her in this movie while also developing their characters and she wanted to come back and her role was important to the movie, you got to have her in the fucking movie. You got to. You got to. If these creators found a way to be different and subvert our expectations and develop their characters, all while having Cindy Prescott still in this movie to where we can enjoy what the fuck we're watching on the screen, if they have this game planned out, let them do their job. I am so fucking frustrated with this whole situation. And now I don't know if you guys seen it, guys. I seen it on Instagram. There's a petition out there to Paramount and Spyglass and stuff, almost at 1,000 signatures, probably there now. You know what I mean? Fans saying, give her money. You had David Arquette. You had other celebrities coming out in her defense. But the thing that agitates me the fucking most, guys, the thing that agitates me the most is what Jamie said. You got guys who are now pulling the contract strings and trying to be funny with the money that had nothing to do with the 5th fucking movie. Why are you fucking with shit? Leave shit alone. Let Spyglass and Paramount and let fucking Radio Silence do their jobs. But that's business in Hollywood, and that's fucking greed and money for you. It's fucking pathetic. It is truly, truly fucking pathetic. It really is. It really, really is. It truly is pathetic. It truly is. You know what I mean? Now I get it. If she was only supposed to do, but this is the thing even too. Guys, this is Neve Campbell. This is Neve Campbell. Her name and her likeness alone is money. It's money. So in my opinion, if they did offer her $2 million, yeah, that is a fucking lowball offer. That is a lowball offer in my opinion. Because then you got to think, what else are they offering her on the back end? We got to think about that too. Oh, okay. So let's just say they did offer her $2 million. But what if they offered her $2 million, but no money on the back end? You think that's a fucking fair deal for what the money this movie's going to make, especially if she's in it? She's the one who puts asses in the seats. Guys, let's really be honest here. Let's really be honest with ourselves. If David, Neve, and Courtney don't sign on for 5, this movie don't sell. I get it. As fans, we want to see these creators be different and move on from these original characters and make the movie their own. But when you do it like Radio Silence did it, and you connect the past in with this new universe, you got to have the legacy characters. And in all honesty, guys, let's really be honest. I'm not saying I wouldn't have went to see it, because I would have. I would have went to see it just because I would like to see what they would have done had Neve, David, and Courtney not been in that movie. I would have went to see it. But am I gonna lie to you and tell you that a lot of people probably would have said, nah, we're not going to see it, and it would have bombed at the box office? Most likely it would have. Most likely it would have. Because even when Dave and Courtney was announced, what was everybody kept saying? Is Neve going to be in it? Is Neve going to be in it? And then she got announced as it was in it. And then, whoosh, 140 million at the box office, baby. That's Neve Campbell. That's the star power. Like I said, guys, it's frustrating. I see some comments here. I am going to get to them before I head off of here, because I'd say in about the next 10 minutes, I'm going to get off here because my buddy should be here soon. But yeah, I'm just after watching that Jamie video, guys, and like I said, I really do take what I'm not just being a fanboy or nothing. I am a big fan of Jamie Kennedy, of all his work. You know, Malibu's Outside of Scream, Malibu's Most Wanted, his stand up and all that. But I really love it when he gets serious and when he's like, I just believe him. I believe the shit that he says. I take what he says at face value. Why? Because he's been in the fucking back and he has some type of inside knowledge. And it's truly pathetic. It's truly pathetic how motherfuckers who had nothing to fucking do, had nothing to do with this fucking movie even being made for the 5th one, is fucking sticking their fucking greedy little fucking grubby hands and trying to be funny with the fucking money and fucking up the plans that has been set forth. That's the thing that agitates me. Don't fucking, if it's not broke, don't fucking try to fix it. Because when you do that, you're going to break the fucking thing. And like I said, we could not have Neve in this movie if they made it make sense. Cool. I'm okay with that. I already expected her not to be in this movie. But my main concern is, did you burn the fucking bridge for 7? Did you burn the bridge for 7? That was my whole thing. And I'm sorry, from her quotes, and I said it the other day, from what it sounds like in her quotes, it sounds like she's done. She don't want to come back. She was saying goodbye. That's how I took those quotes. I could be wrong. Maybe fences can be mended. I know they're trying to renegotiate with her now. That's why filming got delayed. At least that's what the big rumor is out there. But guys, my biggest thing is this. We can sit there and say, oh, we don't need her in Scream 6, all we want. Okay, cool, that whatever. But my whole thing, my whole issue is people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, all over greed, are fucking with this woman's fucking pockets. That had nothing to do with the original plans that was set forth for this rebooted of the franchise. According to Jamie, now these cocksuckers are fucking dipping their little fucking grubby hands in the fucking pot, and or as Ghostface would say, sticking their nose in business that doesn't concern them. It's fucking mind-boggling. It's just fucking mind-boggling. It really is. Like, it's like people are fucking stupid. People who really just over greed will literally go and fuck up a good thing. Like, I'm gobsmacked. Like, I'm even more gobsmacked than I was the other day. Like, it's just like, give her what she's worth. You made 140 fucking million, you greedy bastards. Even if, okay, the budget is now 36 million. You made it 140. Even if you give her 5, you're walking away with a smooth 99 fucking million or 98 million fucking dollars for all you little fucking corporate motherfuckers to split upon each other. You mean to tell me that's not enough? Greed, man. Greed. Greed. It's a damn shame. And people will sit there and say, oh, well, maybe Nev's being greedy. Fuck that. She deserves to be greedy. She's devoted her career to this franchise. She didn't ever have to come back. She didn't just come back just for, even if she did just come back for the money, so what? She deserves it. She fucking deserves it. Because let's really be honest, guys. That franchise and that character, in all honesty, rejuvenated the slasher franchise and the whole Final Girl, the whole lore of the Final Girl. That's why she is so fucking valuable. That's why her worth, it should be more than what they offered her. Especially when you think about what she's got to shell out. Especially in taxes. Especially in taxes. Listen, guys, you already know. The more you make, the more they take. As it's just how the system works. So you got to make sure, especially if you're giving your all to something, guys. If you're giving your all to something, you want to reap the full benefits. I tell people this all the time, guys. And I still work a regular 8-hour job, what have you. But I tell people this all the time. If you have something to where you can invest in yourself, to where you can make your own business out of it, do it. Do it. Why keep going to work for somebody for the rest of your life when you're not reaping the full fucking benefits? You're only getting a percentage. You're working yourself to the bone like you're a millionaire, but you're only getting $17 an hour. Get what you're worth. Get what you're worth. I have no issue with Neve trying to get what she's worth, especially now that a little bit more information has come out thanks to Jamie. You know what I mean? And the fact that there's a fucking third party involved that wasn't involved before, that's the ones that's being funny with the money. That's the one that's what's making my brain just fry. It's just like, what? Oh my God. I hate people. Listen, I'm a firm believer of this, man. I always said this. If I was a billionaire, right? And let's say I ran a company or whatever. I'm a fucking billionaire. And people are working their asses off to the fucking bone to make my company run. I am going to take care of my people and then some. I'm not going to be fucking cheap with the money. I'm not going to be cheap with the benefits. Why? Because without these people working their asses off, my company don't stand. A lot of you business motherfuckers don't understand that. And that's the truth. Without us people coming in to put the fucking work in, your shit don't fucking run. Without Neve Campbell being in this movie or just not even being in the franchise anymore in general, it will cost you money. It will lose you money. It will lose you money. Now, do I believe? I know there's a couple people out there that do think that maybe this is a whole ruse, to maybe lead into a surprise that she actually is in the movie or whatnot. I know Fate, if you're watching this or if you do end up watching this, shout out to you, bro. I know you said you referenced Andrew Garfield. My issue is this: those are two different situations. Andrew Garfield wasn't saying goodbye to the franchise when he was telling us he wasn't coming back to Spider-Man. Neve literally said to all my fans over the last 25 years, this was like a farewell, a heartfelt farewell. Like, it's just, like I said, guys, it's just annoying because it's people involved who are fucking with the money that have no business being involved. according at least to somewhat what Jamie's, at least been some of the information, or at least for what he's taken from the information. That's frustrating as a fan. That is so frustrating, especially when it's people who have nothing, who know nothing about the fucking movie, who are just in it for the fucking paycheck. These fucking jock sniffing fucking wannabes who act like they care about these movies and the franchises and stuff. And these actors, they don't give a fuck about these people. They give a fuck about the good almighty dollar. And if they can't fuck you in ways to where it benefits them better, they don't even want you on. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy because Jamie even referenced this with the Tremors franchise with him. He took a little bit less money off the top for the first one. I guess the reboot, it was a success. But then in the second and third ones, they offered him less money. How does that happen? How does the franchise not only get rebooted, but it successfully gets rebooted? You make a shit ton of money off of it, but my pay doesn't increase. My pay either plateaus or goes lower. You're out of your fucking mind. You greedy fucking bastards. Fuck out my face with that, man. Greedy fucking bastards, man. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and this shit might get flagged because all the fucking words, all the cuss words I'm saying. But this is how infuriating it is as a fan, knowing this is what these fucking studios or these outside third parties, whoever the fuck's involved, this is what they do to these guys, to these people. How are you going to sit there and offer me either the same amount of money or less money when you made a fucking profit? And I was the part of the reason you made the profit. Without me, you don't sell tickets. Without Nev, you don't sell tickets. Without David, you don't sell tickets. Without Courtney, you don't sell tickets. Oh God, it's just, and that's the thing, guys. That's what's frustrated me. It's that these motherfuckers who have no fucking idea how this fucking works. You know what I mean? Like, it's just frustrating. It really is. It really is. Guys, that's like you going to work, right? And you found out your job, you found out the company you work for makes estimated $200 million a year and maybe has, let's just go with a rough 30 to 50 employees or whatever. You're not going to be asking your boss where the profit shares are, especially if it's not put in the handbook. You're not going to be asking your boss for a bigger raise, for more money, especially when you put the time and the work and you put your heart and your soul and then some to it. You went above and beyond to make, this franchise, this company work and still be existing to this day. You made more money. You made a profit, but you're not going to give me my cut out of that profit? How the fuck's that work? How I make you money? How I make you a profit, but you're going to plateau my pay or offer me less? Greedy fuckers, man. That just irks my soul, guys. It's the greed. That's overall. I'm going to sum it up with that. It's the greed. Because me, I guess maybe I'm just speaking for myself because I like to be a fucking giving person. You know what I mean? Hell, I'm the type of person that, hey, I work paycheck to paycheck, but if I fucking see a homeless person starving in the street, I'm buying him a fucking meal. You know what I mean? Like, greed, it just infuriates me, guys. And I understand this is how, for the most part, this is how it's always been. But I pray for change. I pray for change. In all honesty, I really, really do. I pray for change. It's it just sucks. It's like I said. It's One thing if it was Spyglass and Paramount and Radio Silence or whatever, not really Radio Silence because they don't handle those contracts. It was one if it'd be one thing if it was Spyglass and Paramount. But according to Jamie, it's not even them. It's not even them. It's a third party that had nothing to do with the fifth film. That had nothing to do with the reboot. Was nowhere around when this movie fucking was, you know, picking back up. But once this fucking movie makes 140 fucking million at the box office, now you got these fucking jock sniffing fucking wannabes trying to creep the fuck up. Like, hey, yeah, hey, so we're this executive, and I'm Mr. Anderson, and I'm Mr. Petroli, and I'm this guy, and I'm that guy. Now you fuckers want to come flock, huh? And fuck up everything. I'm almost convinced, guys, and I guess this is why it's going crazy in my mind as a fan. I'm starting to believe that if Nev was supposed to have a chunky part in this movie, then I am led to believe, and could it work out this way? No. They could completely botch this whole idea. But I take it as if they were going to develop their characters well enough to where we enjoyed what we saw out of those character developments to where you could still have Cindy be in this movie. And if that was the case, while also being different and subverting expectations, let them create, baby. Let them cook. Let them cook. Like, why are you fucking with shit? Leave shit alone. I'm gonna check out some of you guys' comments and stuff before I get before I get out of here. Hey, Night Watch, hunting for entertainment. What's going on, everybody? Okay, but Keith, I get all that. I get all that. I get that. And this is no disrespect to you or anybody else. You know what I mean? I understand we're going through hard times and inflations, but that has nothing to do with Neve Campbell and her getting what she's worth out of this franchise. I mean, that has nothing to do with it, in all honesty. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with her being able to get what she's worth out of this franchise. You know what I mean? The struggles of the country or anything like that, you know what I mean, has not that's not her fault. That's not her fault. Just like it ain't our fault. From us going to our bosses, if we deserve it, getting a pay raise and getting increased rates, especially in times like we are in now. And in all honesty, I feel like we should care about, in all honesty, the situation with Nev makes. Because in all honesty, it peels back the curtain on honestly what we go through with our bosses and the companies we work for every day. Fucking with the money. You want us to break our backs. You want 110% of us. You want us to do all this shit. But you ain't going to pay us when we ask for that raise or when we ask to get what we were worth. No, it's only fair. It goes both ways. It goes both ways in Hollywood, just like it does in regular day life society. Get what you're worth. Get the bag, Nev. That's right, Night Watch. RP to Dusty. That's right, baby. That's right. That he is. That he is. They give you a watch, they kick you in the butt, and tell your computer took your place. And that's the truth. Tell me that ain't the motherfucking truth. Jobs bleed you bone dry. You walking like this, you know what I mean, and shit like that. Give yourself 30 years to a job, all to be making what, $19 an hour? And you're lucky if you got benefits and a pension? It goes both ways. Bob says, but my question is who set the budget? Because to have only raised it by 9 million, that was the biggest mistake they had done. It should have been a budget way higher than 35 million. To me, 500 500K a day didn't sound bad, but that's that Bobby's breakdowns. But see, that's the thing, Bobby, is if they did offer her 2 million, right, for those 4 days, we have to consider the taxes taken out of that. You have to consider publicists, agents. If it's not in the contract that flights and hotel stay is paid for, she's got to shell out a good bit of that money. That she has to shell out a good bit of that money. She does. If you add, and let's say if she is living in California, like I said earlier, that's I want to arguably say if out of a lump sum amount of money, they're taking at least 30% out of that lump sum. And then if you add agents, whatever her agent charges her, whatever, that's like 50% of your pay going right there. Like, and I'm sorry, in my opinion, what she's given through this franchise for all the years, pay the woman, pay her. Because then, like I said, you guys got to think this too. In previous movies, she didn't get no back end money. That's significant, guys. In all honesty, the back end money is where you really make your money at. It's just like with boxers. They could sit there and offer Floyd Mayweather 32 million up front, but no pay-per-view buys, no revenue off the live gate, which substantially is like another 70 fucking million dollars. So that's the thing too, finding out that she has been jerked, the curtain has been jerked in terms of money from her before. I understand why she's being a little, if we can say she's being a little bit greedy, fuck it. They've been being greedy with her for years. And according to Jamie, that's how they are with all of them. But that is a good question, Bob, is who set the budget? I mean, according to Jamie, or whatever, from what at least the information that I guess that has been gathered by him or whatnot, they it's not even Spyglass and Paramount that's like they're just distributing it. Apparently, they're the third party behind the scenes. All of a sudden now. All of a sudden, there's a third party behind the scenes. We don't know if they're the ones who set the budget. We don't know. But according to Jamie, there's motherfuckers meddling. And that's the thing that gets on my nerves right there. Is motherfuckers who weren't involved with the fifth movie now all of a sudden are meddling. What do we talk about, Bob? Like the studios, and Jamie said the bigger ups, the guys are high. Basically, what I took, it's the guys above the studio. It's the guys above the heads above the studio who are in charge of the executives of the studio. The big suits, the secret society. I'm telling you guys, like that's and like I said, I take Jamie's word for it. No, honestly, I don't think he's blowing no fucking smoke. Because if you watch that interview, you can even see the outrage, and he just starts going in. He starts going in on how Hollywood does this, how they did that to him with Tremors, etc., etc. Like, it's fucking nuts. That's crazy. It's ridiculous. Because in my opinion, 500K for a legendary actress like that, in my opinion, when you got athletes who do one commercial or whatever, might maybe making $1 million, 2-3 million. She deserves her money. She deserves her money. In my opinion, 500,000, that's good for us. That's good for us. You know what I mean? But for what she's given to that franchise, we're not talking about her other projects. Just to that franchise alone, fuck that. No, she deserves more than that. She deserves more than that. What's up, Jackie? How you doing? But I would like to know who set the budget too, Bob. That is a good question. Thank you. And right there, Jackie, that's that's right there. That right there, what you just said. That right there. Without Neve, this movie don't sell. Scream 5 don't sell. It doesn't. We as diehards might go to see it, but there's a lot of motherfuckers who wouldn't go to see it. There's a lot of people, if Neve Campbell especially was not in Scream 5, even for those 10, 15 minutes, those little bit of scenes, if she was not in that movie, a lot of people wouldn't have gave it a chance. And is that right? You can say yes, you can say no. But that's right there. Yes, everyone's salary was going up, but it's pretty rough when you have the primary star of the franchise, who was a huge publicity factor for 5, now feeling undervalued. Well, it's like Jackie, it's just like I said. It's just like with almost any job. You making money. You just turned a profit. I was a big reason why you turned that profit. You ain't gonna give me my cut. You ain't gonna give me my raise. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Val. And that's why I wanted to bring up that what Matthew says at these cons. Like, it is so important to keep that in note. Because even in filming, guys, these guys don't always get parts. They could sit there and have a box office hit and then not have a movie roll for like 2 years. They could not work for 2 years. And it's not because they don't want to, it's just they can't find parts, or the parts they're going for, the studios and executives might have went in a different direction in terms of an actor. That's why they do these cons. I, I honestly, guys, in all honesty, when I heard Matthew say that, not only was obviously I appreciative of that, but that shit broke my fucking heart. You know what I mean? You see all the money that these movies have grossed, like Scooby Doo, Scream, and all that stuff, and these people still got to go to fucking cons to put food on the table for their families. Like, when they do acting for that, that's what they love acting for, not just to act, but to make the most money possible. But they don't even, like, it's like, in all honesty, going to these cons is kind of like a second job to them, another job to them, because it's another source of income. It's crazy, guys. Like, it's really, really fucking crazy. And that's the thing that pisses me off about it the most, though. Is like, as Jamie said, you got these fucking bigger suits above Radio Silence, above Paramount and Spyglass, who had nothing to do with the fifth film, putting their fucking grubby little fucking dirty hands in the cookie jar. Don't nobody like no dirty ass hands in a fucking good ass fucking pile of cookies, y'all. Fuck. Man. Well, what's today? The 8th. Well, we got one more day. We have one more day to find out. I mean, what's going to happen with the situation? We know, according to the rumors, they have delayed filming to accommodate and renegotiate with Neve. And let's just hope. I'll leave it at this, guys. Let's just hope. Let's just hope that if Radio Silence had a plan to develop their characters to where we were satisfied as fans with the development of those characters, while also being different in their own way and making it their own movie, while also still being able to have Neve come back for a little bit, or for a hearty scene, as Jamie said, and hearty means chunky. Let them cook, let them work, let them operate. Let them operate. If they can find a way to subvert our expectations, be different, and develop their characters while also being able to incorporate Neve, and it all makes sense and it all meshes in together, let these creators create. Let them do their job. Stop fucking sticking your grubby little fucking dirty corporate fucking hands in the fucking in the cookie jar, you greedy motherfuckers. Like, because that's what it sounds like to me is these suits, they don't want to pay Nev because they want to keep that extra little money in their pocket. That's what it sounds like to me. Because I'm sorry, you made 140 million off this movie. Even if Nev, like I said, wants 5 million, that leaves 135 million off the table, and for whatever else you paid everybody else. Like, you still make great money. You still make great money. And if you have her back in the movie, and obviously because of the backlash, you're starting to see the star power as to why she is the box office draw, you will most likely make more money in 6 if she's in it as opposed to if she's not in it. Not saying that you won't make money if she's not in it. There's a possibility that you would. But given how this situation played out with how they did her dirty, some fans might feel fucking like, nah, you did our favorite character dirty. Why would we even want to support your fucking movie? Some people are like that. Would I still go watch it? Yeah, because I want to see what happens. I want to see what direction we're gonna go in. But does that mean I have to be happy with the way they fucking treated Neve Campbell? You know what I mean? No. No. Fuck no. I'm tired of greedy motherfuckers not just getting over on the Hollywood stars, you know what I mean? These executives and stuff. I'm tired of it as a whole, guys. I'm tired of even people like us being short-sighted of what the fuck we deserve. You know what I mean? Honestly, like this shit is fucking it's annoying. It really is. It really, really is. And that's just what it boils down to, guys. Greed. Greed. Fucking greed. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I love listening to Jamie because, like I said, for me, I don't know, guys. You know how when you can feel somebody telling you a lie and telling you the truth? When I listen to Jamie Kennedy, I feel the truth pouring through him. And you watch that video, and I left it in there at the top of the description. I mean, in the chat box, at the top of the chat box. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. About a 22-minute video, really good. Like, and he just goes in and he explains everything. And I thought that it was important for him to talk about his experience with Tremors because it peels the curtain back on how these executives will sit there and make a profit off of you, off of the fact that you were the star in their movie, but then come back and offer you less money later down the road. That's not how that's supposed to happen. If you turned a fucking profit and I took less off the top to help you turn that profit, I'm supposed to get a raise. That's how this works. Oh, guys. But all right, gang. I'm gonna get out of here for this one. I do wish I could stay a little bit longer, but my buddy Ryan is about to head over and stuff like that. Yeah, he just messaged me saying he'll be here in a few and stuff. Haven't seen him in a little bit and stuff, so we're gonna kick it and bust it up before I go to work or whatnot. But yeah, crazy situation. I will be back on tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of us will be keeping our eyes to our phones, looking up stuff to see what's going to happen. And tomorrow's going to be a very, very fascinating day. And tomorrow we might do another one of these morning gigs and talk about it and see if any updates come through while we're going live. You know what I mean? So it's frustrating, guys. It just really is. It's just like I said, I don't like greed. I don't like greed, and I don't like motherfuckers sticking their fucking nose in business that don't fucking pertain to them. If you had no involvement in the 5th film, why the fuck are you here now? Get the fuck away. Bye, Felicia. We don't need you. We were doing just fine without you. There was no drama. Everything was going smooth according to plan. And here you fucking pansy motherfuckers come in being fucking greedy, wanting to hog the fucking money, wanting to fuck everything up that was already put in motion. Infuriating to say the least. And guys, I'm sorry. I know this was a stream and I fucking just went all ham cussing every other fucking sentence. I have the mouth of a sailor. I'm sorry if some of you guys can't handle that. I appreciate you guys who did show up in the chat and are watching this now and stuff. I appreciate you guys' support and letting me air this shit out and how I feel, especially about this Jamie Kennedy interview, what I take from this interview. And like I said, guys, tomorrow's going to be a very fascinating day, and it should be fun to see what's going to happen. But all right, gang, I'm out of here for the day. I will catch you guys later. Once again, this is a Shot Up 6 Times YouTube Horror Movie channel. If you haven't already, please shoot that like button to this stream and to the channel. Support is greatly appreciated, as well as hit the subscribe button and a notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. I will catch you guys later.
I shot him 6 times.